What's going on? This is Kareem from DJBooth.net, and I'm here in the lab to give you guys a quick review video of the new Roland DJ-202. So if you guys remember, a few months ago we reviewed the Roland DJ-808, which was their flagship level super supreme DJ controller for Serato DJ, and now we have the review of their entry-level Roland DJ-202, which only comes in at the price of $300 to $350 at the time of this review, and it packs a really big punch for an entry-level size and priced DJ controller. And we also have the Roland DJ-505 controller here right now, and we're gonna have the review for this bad boy up very soon, so make sure you guys pound that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, so you know exactly when our future reviews are coming out. This should be very soon, but right now we're gonna focus on the Roland DJ-202, which is their entry-level DJ controller, and it does have a lot of functionality in it and of itself. As you can see, it does not have that TR drum machine on the top of it, but it does have it built in, and it doesn't need to be operating with Serato DJ in order for you to use it. The sequencers are down here on the pads instead, as opposed to having a separate TR unit at the top, but you still have the full functionality right here at your fingertips in this nice small package and affordable price range. So first things first, the setup and the first impressions. And first impressions are rather good. It's an all plastic body all around, but that's expected at this price point. It's really lightweight, nice and compact though, and easy to bring with you on the go. I would definitely advise for people who's gonna move this with them on the go to use some type of a bag or a case when transporting it, because it's really lightweight and it's definitely made of some thinner style plastic on this unit. But again, at this price point, that is definitely expected. So on the front, you have your single headphone output jack. I would have liked to see them have a mini and a 1/4 inch, but all you see here is the 1/4 inch, so you're gonna have to break out your headphone adapters for those. And on the back, you have your USB connection for your computer. You also have a MIDI output, which is really cool to have here. And you also have your RCA outputs as well. And you also have a microphone input as well. So that's really good to see this level of inputs and outputs on this device. I would have liked to see maybe a booth output and also maybe some XLRs for your outputs, or a different input so you can have like your auxiliary device just in case something goes bad with your software. But it's really cool to see that they do have the microphone and the MIDI out and the RCA outputs as well. So that's it for the inputs and the outputs. In order to set this up, all you have to do if you're on a Windows machine is to download your drivers and run the latest version of the Serato DJ or Serato DJ Intro software. This does come bundled with the Serato DJ Intro software, but there's a lot of functionality on the face of the unit that lends itself well to upgrading to the full Serato DJ experience, including the slicer function and also the slip function that you guys see here on the face of the machine. This is a 4-deck controller, even though it has a 2-deck layout. There is a layering deck 3 and deck 4 buttons here for the controller, so that way you can switch this to a 4-deck controller, and it does work with all 4 decks with Serato DJ Intro right out of the box. So really easy to set up. When you're on a Mac, all you have to do is plug and play this bad boy and run the latest edition of Serato DJ, and you should be up and running and ready to play with your files that are on your computer. So let's go into this in big detail, hook this bad boy up, and see what we have under the hood. All right, so here it is. This is the Roland DJ-202 Serato DJ digital DJ controller. So as you guys can see, this is a 2-deck layout, but it is a 4-deck in operation because there is a deck 3 layer and a deck 4 layer control right here on this controller, so that way you can switch this whole deck operation between decks 1 and 3, or the right deck to deck 2 or 4. All the way at the bottom, you have your crossfader, and this is a very loose crossfader, pretty good for pulling off scratches, except for the fact that it has a rather large cut-in distance, and it doesn't have the highest of resolution, which is normal for a DJ controller in the $300 to $350 price range, but it still will get the job done, and it will let you pull off most of your cuts. Next up, you have your line level faders, and these faders do have way more resistance to them, and they're great for getting your accurate level of volume when you need to monitor your LED meters here for your master, so that way you're not clipping. You also have additional trim or gain level knobs all the way at the top, And then you have your low and high band filters right here on the bottom, along with your 3-band EQs that are full kill EQs. Next up, you have your Q buttons for your sampler or for your different tracks or your different channels, so that way you can use your headphone controls in order to monitor what the master output does not get to monitor. So you have your headphone level volume control knob here, your master volume control knob at the top, and in the middle you have your Q master mixing knob, so you can mix between what you have in the Q section or what is playing through the master in the speakers. Next up, you have your navigation controls, which allows you to go back and forward between your different playlists and your different folders. And then you have your load for left and right, and then you have your BPM and song sort as well. Next up, all the way at the top, you have your FX1 and your FX2 strips, so that way you can manipulate both of your FX modules within Serato DJ. You have 1, 2, and 3 buttons here, so that way you can select which buttons or which effects you want selected at a time, and you can use your single level beats knob in order to have them at the level that you want each of your effects to be. It would be better to have 3 different individual knobs, but at this price point, this is what's normally used here, and you can use all 3 or 6 of your effects at the same time, depending on what you have selected. Next up, you have your slip or vinyl mode button. This allows you to change in between your vinyl mode for your jog wheel or to the jog wheel mode, so that way when you're on vinyl mode, you can have this as a touch sensitive top, so that means you can do your scratching and you can actually move and manipulate the music as you see fit with your top band using vinyl mode. And when you have this in jog wheel mode, you can nudge the track forward or slow it down by going in the opposite direction. When you're in vinyl mode, you can use the side for your nudging, and the top will be touch sensitive, so that way you can do your scratching. Next up, you have your shift buttons on both of your decks, and then you have also your sync button and your sync off by pressing shift and sync. Next up, you have your transport controls and your pad controls. Your transport controls are all hard plastic, and they have a backlit on them, so you can see when you're in play pause button mode or when you're in Q mode. And you also have a stutter feature or a rewind track when you're using the shift with these buttons. Really good to see that they have separate transport controls from your pad controls, because a lot of low-level DJ controllers have your play, pause, and Q and stutter buttons here on the pads, and that way it takes up some of your cue points and other things that you could be doing with the pads. Here on the Roland DJ-202, that is not the case, and they all have different functions for their pads. Next up, you have the jog wheels here, and the jog wheels are nice size for the real estate that's on this controller. It's nice and compact, but you have nice large jog wheels. They have a nice weight to them. They're not really loose, as you can see. The most spin back that I can get out of them, even using my most force, is just a little bit. So they do have some weight to them, but they're really nice feeling, and they do feel like they're built to last. They have a metal top on them, plastic on the sides, but they feel really good to the touch, and they have really good weight to them, feels similar to vinyl. Next up is the pad controls. These are all rubber buttons here. They all are backlit as well. You have your hot cue and your cue loop, your loop and your roll, and these are activated when you're using Serato DJ Intro. You also have sequencer and pattern modes, which can be used without using this with Serato DJ. You can just use the sequencer and the patterns that are already built in. You can change and alter the patterns that's there, and of course you're using the TR-808 and the 909 drum sounds. The 606 and 707 drum sounds are coming on the way with the update very shortly. But for now, you have the 909 and the 808 sounds, and they're right here on the pads. And we'll give you guys a quick demo shortly. But for now, we just want you guys to know that you have all of your pad functions when you're upgrading to Serato DJ, the full experience, which unlocks slicer and more sample banks. And it also unlocks the slip mode, as you see here as well. So let's take a quick look at that built-in sequencer that you do not need Serato DJ for. You just need to power this bad boy using a USB bus somehow, and then you'll be able to use a sequencer. Again, you can sync it with whatever's playing in your Serato DJ software, and you can start and stop and tap the BPM in when you're using it by itself. So let's just go through some of the patterns that are already here on the DJ-202. You can also play back some of your sounds, or you can hear all the sounds and drum everything in manually if you want as well. You have all your sounds here from the 808. So in conclusion, the new Roland DJ-202 entry-level DJ controller is probably my favorite entry-level DJ controller of them all, because it includes that really dope TR drum machine right here in the pads. It has separate transport controls from the pads. It has nice sized jog wheels. It also has these separate bypass filters from your gain controls at the top, and you also have your LEDs right here in the middle as well. A lot of entry-level controllers do not have these features. It's also very Serato DJ upgrade friendly, meaning that it comes bundled with Serato DJ Intro, but it has all of the buttons and things in place for you to use Serato DJ, the full professional software, with ease, such as your slicer and your slip functions right here on the face of the unit. It's also 2 or 4 deck compatible, meaning that you have your layering function, so that way you can use this as deck 1 or 3 and deck 2 or 4 with the push of a button. On the downside, the controller has really small pitch sliders, which is really hard sometimes for people to beat match manually, meaning that you have a really small pitch slider, so you don't have as great a resolution as some of the other DJ controllers out there that have the long throw pitch sliders and much higher resolution to getting that really crisp, accurate beat match. It also doesn't have any additional auxiliary inputs, which is really crucial for DJs who are out there playing in a gig and they don't have the time to have any type of errors or crashes with their performance. They can easily bust out an RCA port here in order to give you guys a continuous show, but this is not the case here. It only has the master outputs, the mic input, and the MIDI output, which is also a big plus, but instead of using the MIDI, it would have been nicer to see maybe an auxiliary output here for when you're in a jam and your DJ kit crashes and you still need to keep the party going. Another minor gripe with the DJ-202 is that the headphone output volume is really low. So if you're in a club environment or someplace where the music is really loud, it might be hard for you to monitor your mix in the headphones, because the headphones just don't go as loud as some of the other controllers that are powered with something other than USB bus powered, meaning it's bus powered and it has the power from a power cable as well. But that is also the case on many controllers in this price range. The $300 to $350 price range always has those type of gripes with it. So nothing different from the Roland DJ-202 here. But again, still my favorite DJ controller at this price point, because of that addition of that drum machine that is just so much fun to use and so much fun to use while you're DJing as well. So for more on the full written review summary, you guys can head on over to www.djbooth.net/DJS, or you can click on the link at the top of this video description. Make sure you guys give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe for the new videos coming out, and you guys know we got that DJ 505 ready and waiting for you guys. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, and as always, thanks for watching.